stories from his experiences, or not stories, but descriptions. And we will be back in 5. Y'all just enjoy this.
You're listening to WBS DHM, digital broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
And just like that, we are back. Welcome to the second hour of Paranormal Experience Radio. I am your host, Kat Hobson. I'm joined by Tony Rathman. If you missed that first hour, you've got to go back and grab it. It'll be out on iTunes, iHeart, Google Play, Podbean, and heaven only knows where else. So many outlets, and we appreciate all of them. And this has been fantastic as far as EVPs go. Tony brought a bunch of his work to share with us from the Copper Canyon Paranormal Research Center. And I got to tell you, I'm coming. I am coming out there. This is astounding.
Great. Would love to have you, and anyone else who wants to experience this place. It's definitely worth the journey.
You know, I had mentioned to you when we started that this is the fourth Paranormal Research Center that has been dubbed such that I know the owners of. And I think it is so great that people are setting aside these places and maintaining them and making them safe for investigators to come into so that they can do this research and learn the techniques, learn their equipment, and perhaps find a method to communicate in such a way that we can understand how the spirits are still there. I love that you're
is
doing
absolutely
that.
Correct. And that was one of the purposes for it. I mean, obviously, as much investigating as we do and capturing, the real passion for us is to find out exactly, what's going on. Are these spirits stuck? Are they in limbo? Are they just on another plane where, whatever building they're in may look run down to us, but to them it looks as if it was, freshly built and brand new. Those are the answers that we're always searching for is what life is like outside of this one. And hopefully not only for my wife and I, but for anyone else who is looking for a place to be able to try new tools or do investigations without outside influence or other people walking around talking, making noise, whatever the case may be. That's definitely one of the areas. And of course, we also want investigators to share what they've captured, so that other people can hear it, see it, understand that, hey, this occurs on a regular basis. And this is not a unique catch. It's not something that was, a fluke. This is a true response to a response that came back, out of thin air. But there's so many other things to capture in the building as well. So every group that comes in, every set of new tools that they may have or want to use or find out what they can capture with, those are all things that help build the research and help build the sharing of what was captured and the understanding of what's occurring. So that's the other big piece of why we're doing this.
Well, it's a huge deal, because I feel like spirits get, like when you walked in, they were so active because they hadn't had human communication. Well, living human communication.
Exactly. And, one of the things, this is a funny story, but one of the things my wife and I don't remember how long ago, a couple of months ago, we were having this discussion, but if you think about, and we know only from responses that we've captured that they can hear us. Obviously, if I'm asking a question, they respond. They can see us. Imagine how frustrating it would be to be around your friends and family if you had passed and you can see what they're doing, you can hear what they're doing, but they don't know you're there and they can't hear you. I mean, that would be very frustrating to know that, they want to try to console you or comfort you and you're unaware that they're there. That, to me, would be very painful. And all of a sudden now they're interacting with people that have the ability to hear them, to record them, that I would, if I was a spirit and wanted to get a message across, I would be jumping at that immediately to take advantage of being able to get heard.
Absolutely. And that was actually depicted in Ghost. And at the time, when I was watching that movie, I don't even know how young I was. It was millennia ago. But I actually was like, oh my gosh, why does she not hear him? They were in love. This is a huge deal. And it was, even then, and that was before ghost shows and, Pure Unity and all this other stuff. But that was something that I felt really deeply, and it's just weird. I didn't know at the time all the things that were going on with my psyche like that, but I thought it was just being overly emotional. So with other people's emotions now, I know that.
No, but that's very true, and that thin veil between the worlds does exist, and until it breaks down, and once it does, then there's all sorts of other things that begin to be experienced from the spiritual side. But for people that may not have experienced any of it yet, that veil appears to be stronger, and the more you break through it, the more things come back, and it's an interesting experience. But like I said, over the last 8 years of us doing this, we can definitely see the stages where that's thinned and where things now come through on a regular basis that we would have never noticed, heard, or paid it years ago.
Right. And I didn't. I know other people who were experiencing, clairsentience, clairaudience, whatever, and they just thought they were crazy. They had no idea what that was, and there wasn't a lot of support for that either. And fortunately, my grandma was New Age before there was New Age, so she helped with that a little bit. But, it's really something to see the strides that we have made in understanding spiritual gifts and knowing how they're being utilized by spirits at different places, or, just spirit guides who are helping you to know what other people might need. And, here you are going in and just making assistance basically available to these spirits by the people that you're going to bring in. That's so amazing.
Well, thank you. And like I said, it hopefully it'll be an opportunity, especially for the Western states, to have a place where that acknowledgement of what's happening and the ability to capture will grow the entire paranormal community across the world, because that's very important to us as well. And that knowledge sharing and that ability to say, hey, this was captured, this is legit, this is here it is, take a look, tell us what you think. But like I said, to give that opportunity to other people that can do that and experience it for themselves, and be able to come back and say, hey, look what we captured, and get that momentum going where everyone's sharing, and that's going to help hopefully that para-unity as well that we all know is suffering today.
Well, it is. I saw somebody discussing that, on Facebook today even, that we're like, what do you think causes all the drama? And I tend to steer clear of drama, so I'm not always aware of it. But the answers seem to be ego. And then, somebody else said greed. And then somebody else said, well, just state the obvious, it's jealousy. And I think people are they're so afraid somebody is going to take their evidence and claim it as theirs. But, is that really, because you can go back, you can timestamp it or whatever with your stuff. But I think it's really important that people do share. You were brave enough to come out in that contest, and the other entry